Hi all, Hibber here. So if you watch this channel on a regular basis, you know I love the Yoshino. So don't forget to subscribe if you love the ship as well. Because this is a legendary Atago, more or less. Slightly less agile, but you know, the offense is just pretty much out of this world. You have a whole bunch of torpedoes, like 4 launchers just like Atago, and they hit really hard. And they also have 20-kilometer range. So if you just saw right there, I fired some torpedoes right off the bat here, because you know, I pretty much know where people are going to sit. So we just let them, you know, do their own thing while we start to use the guns on this ship here. And this ship has 310mm guns. Incredible. And the reload is 16 seconds. Slightly longer than the Atago, but not by much at all. And you get a spotter plane as well. Very useful if you need to increase your dispersion. I always forget to use it, but anyway, there it is. You also get the sonar, which is nice, and you also get 4 heals, at least with this build here. So it's a fantastic ship, and it's also really tough. The only problem is that the top of your bow and your stern is quite weak. So you will have to use the fast rudder, because I'm running an agile build on this ship here, to make sure that those high caliber battleship shells do not hit those vulnerable parts. If you can do that, and there's our torpedo hits, remember we fired them, I don't know, like 2 minutes ago. So yeah, free 33,000 damage right there. So if you But like I said, if you can keep those battleship shells out of your green no-no spots in the front and the back, this ship here is one heck of a ship to deal with for the enemies. And there's another torpedo hit. So 50,000 damage there, and I didn't really do anything for that. I just fired torpedoes, 20-kilometer range, and you know, if you fire them at the spots where the enemies usually congregate, yeah, it's easy damage. And you know, 50% of the damage potential of Atago is in its torpedoes. I mean, we are talking potential here. And if you don't get 40 to 50% of your damage with torpedoes, you're not playing the ships to their fullest. It's as simple as that. Now, I didn't make that up myself. That is Wargaming told me that a few years ago. I have been desperately trying to find the Discord post, but I can't find it anymore, so you'll just have to trust me on it. And as you can tell, because I've run an agile build on my Yoshino, so I can play this ship really aggressively, especially on maps like Hotspot and Shards, and you know, the smaller maps where the teams are required to move in if they, you know, want to win, and where you can actually use your sonar the way it's supposed to be. Because here I'm keeping the destroyer spotted with my sonar, and I'm not going to leave this cap. And the Minotaur is coming to help, but that's okay. That's okay. We're just going to see what we can actually fix this here in an agile Yoshino. Because I'm not spotted, so I can do something. I can do naughty things here, which I am going to do. So Yoshino has really made Legendary Tier a lot more fun for me. And I can only imagine what will happen when we get the real legendary Atago, which would be the Zao. And I don't know if it's actually going to be better than Yoshino. I don't know. Probably a little bit more agile than Yoshino, because Yoshino is really long. And yeah, it is. It takes a while to turn the ship. It's still agile, it's still wiggly, but it's still a little bit of a long ship. But it still works really well with an agile build, except when you hit islands like this here. So I was hoping that my torps would take out these 2 guys here, but they all missed. Every single one missed. So we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way here. And luckily the Hayate is out of torpedoes, so we don't have to worry too much about it. But this is the kind of play that I like, where you catch, like you play aggressively, like you put yourself out there, you make a statement, and that Hayate there thought he had lots of backup in a Minotaur, and it turns out they just get wasted, both of them, because 1, I had good backup, and 2, I kept them spotted, and 3, I kind of forced them to do something, because if they gave up, I would just take the cap and they would never get it back. It's kind of interesting how much difference torpedoes make for my gameplay, my playstyle in particular, because Yoshino is pretty much an Azuma, and Azuma is my absolute hate ship in the game. It's just, I mean, it's not a bad ship, but it's just absolutely dull to play. Like, really, really boring. And then you get a Yoshino, you know, you pop, well, no less than 16 torpedoes on the ship, I believe it is, with 20-kilometer range. And it just completely transforms the ship into, you know, one of the most entertaining ships you can play in the game. It's always fun, this ship here. And it's only fun, at least for me, with an agile build. If I put anything else on the ship, and I've tried lots of other builds, and of course I've also tried the more, you know, traditional damage builds, I don't like it. Because it limits my aggressiveness and my utility, and that's what makes this ship fun for me. And if I put any other build on it, it just feels like an Azuma, and I don't like it, and I don't want to play it. It's very simple, really. So with that in mind, I just want to again underline that it is so important that you try some different builds on your ships. Don't just go into Discord or Facebook and, you know, search for Wichita and then see, oh, what's a good build, and then someone gives you a Scott build and you play with that for the next 2 years. Don't. Like, well, try the Scott build, yes, but also try Kincaid and see which, you know, playstyle fits you better. Like, because it changes the ship completely, especially in Yoshino's case. I mean, a Yoshino with a damage build, it's almost a battleship. Almost. It's very static gameplay, and you know, you have to think a lot about your positioning, like, I don't know, like 5-6 minutes in the future. While an agile build, it's just so much more fluid, so much more fun, in my opinion. And it allows you to play the ship the way you want, and not the way that someone on Facebook or Discord wants you to play the ship, right? It's the same thing with Atago, where I see so many people running the Azure Lane Atago commander on the ship because, oh, it sets a lot of fires. Yeah, okay, that's great, but, you know, be a little bit adventurous here. Try to put something else on the ship and then see what you can do, because I'm promising you can do so many more interesting things. And it's the same with any cruiser in the game. Hipper as well. Put an agile build on a Hipper and you have an absolute brawling machine, I tell you. Like, brawling is not about secondaries. Brawling is about maneuverability up close. And that's what an agile Hipper gives you, for example. And the same thing with the Yoshino. Like, although the ship has nearly like 1,000-meter turning radius, you can make this ship super duper agile. Like, see here how fast it turns. And the turret rotation is just out of this world. I'm running Rune as an inspiration, and I have about 22 seconds turret rotation, plus 3-second rudder, plus 40 knots, and I mean, it's just really, really fun. Except when you are losing battles like this. Well, actually, that's also fun, because I always have a good time in Yoshino, and that's why I love the ship. Now we're down here 2 versus how many? 6 ships. And we only have 1 cap. I got booted out of this cap here that I took, simply because, yeah, there are just too many reds around here, and there was a battleship at pretty much every angle. So, unfortunately, so instead we're just going to go for damage in this game here, because we're not going to win it, and we're not going to win on points. So we might as well just go for damage. And again, just like Atago, when you put, you know, an Atago or a Yoshino in this situation here, you gotta be careful, because this is not the kind of ship that you want up close. They are heavily armed, and not just with you know, artillery, but the torpedoes are absolutely deadly. And because you have fast rudder, or I hope you have fast rudder on your Yoshino and your Atago, you can mitigate the incoming damage. in these situations here, where otherwise you would be forced to kite away and slowly burn these guys down. Instead, you are now able to actually take the initiative and actually go in here and start to torping these guys here, because they are expecting a traditional Yoshino that plays defensively, like a Mogami, something like that, which is also like an extremely boring way to play. But with an agile build, you can do so much more interesting stuff that you can with a traditional build, or you can do different stuff. Let's put it like that. I think it's more interesting stuff, but I mean, that's just me. So I've already decided this is going to be a 200k game, because although my battleship is helping, there's just no way we can turn this battle here. So what I really wanted was this Des Moines here, because also if you watch this channel, that's one of my hate ships in the game, because they always play this way, bow on, and then they use their fast reload to just pretty much sink people, and it's just a ridiculous playstyle, I think, and I find it extremely boring. So I'm just gonna wait until there's a little bit of an opening here and then get my torps off. I'm gonna get sunk now, but that's okay, doesn't matter. We're going to get our 200,000 worth of damage, and I'll get out of this battle with plenty of XP, and then I don't care at all what my team does. So that was an Agile Yoshino, and it's so much fun, guys. It's so much fun. You should try it. I cannot say that any better. So 2400 XP in a loss, and yeah, I'm happy. So hope you enjoyed it, and see you out there.